What's going on, everybody? My name is Seth and you're watching 252 Squad, and in today's video we're back with the abandoned New Edge Mustang GT, working on it, getting some of the old crappy suspension from 2003 out of the rear, as well as a few other little goodies. So I thank you very much for clicking on the video. Let's get started.
1, 2, 3!
She's still header dump, so let's get a little header dump cold start. Or not. There we go. Golly, this thing is loud. All right, so we got the car on the lift in the shop. Going ahead and start taking it apart. Sean's on the other side. I've already gotten this wheel off. Don't worry about those yet. So we're getting ready to go ahead and start. Let me show you what we got going on first. So I know what you're thinking. These look like a cheap set of control arms, and that's because they are. This is just a cheap kit of red control arms with poly bushings that I got for only about $100 a set. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I assembled all the bushings, because it doesn't come assembled right fast. And then we're going to get into the install on the car. We're going to show you how to press these in. So step one, if you can hear me on both of them, you're just going to press those in like that. We just put it in the vise. That's pretty much all we've been doing on these, is sticking them in like that. And as you can see, you can use the vise to press them in pretty evenly there. No real issues as far as those go. So just taking the little metal rod there, sticking it in there. He's getting a piece of metal in his hand, and then you just kind of press that in. It kind of goes through as you press it through the device. So I'm going to actually start on the rear of the car back here with the control arms up top, and I'm going to go ahead and zip those off. Luckily, I have the exhaust still dangling because, like I said, it's open header right now. So that's going to make it a little easier. I don't think I'm going to have to remove the entire exhaust, and then I'm just going to be able to undo these, and then I'm going to go ahead and press those bushings out. Let me show you what I got for that. So I went on to LMR, and I got the Maxim Motorsports tool. This is actually for pressing these diff bushings out, and I got a Prothane actual poly upper diff bushing. This is going to be completely polyurethane up for the top bushing up here for the differential. So the big reason we are doing this is because these original ones are just this stamped material. As you can see, pretty thin, pretty weak. Well, these are in tubular design. And then if you look here at the bushing, you see it is not cracked or torn because it is brand new. And the original ones, they have seen better days. They're actually in a lot better shape than I thought, but as you can see, they're cracking pretty badly there. This car was track abused quite a bit in its younger days. So it's getting new stuff just to kind of clean everything up and hopefully make it work a little bit better. So in order to clean the metal sleeve out for the new poly bushing, we're having to be innovative here with a vise, a drill with the metal brush, and a lot of not trying to hurt yourself. Just a little bit of lube on it and a good old vise, and it just kind of presses right in pretty easily, honestly, compared to the coming out process. So we're gonna get that in, and then we're gonna flip this side in, and then we're gonna press this one on. So we got the diff installer tool right here. We got to install flat side that side, and then the cup side that way with the flat spot around the rear axle. So we're getting ready to just zip that in there with the new poly bushing in it. All right, so we have to call it for the night. It took us 2 hours, but we did get the one side on the passenger side done. Hopefully we will know how to do it next time a little bit better. I can show you a little bit more in depth, but don't count on that too much, because honestly, with the rush we're in to get out of here by the time we have to, it's not too easy to film. But we got the one side in, and hopefully it's gonna actually make a difference, as much of a pain it was to put it in. All right, so I'm back another day working on the New Edge here. I'm trying to get this last diff bushing out. I tried to press it out using the Maxim Motorsports tool, but unfortunately, I think where this car's been sitting, and just due to age, I could not get it to press out. It was more so starting to strip out the bolt for the tool. Nothing against the tool, I just think this car's been sitting. So currently I'm using a drill, and I'm just trying to drill the bushing out instead of having to press the whole metal sleeve out. Hopefully that'll work. So honestly, this seems to be working pretty well. As you can see, I've got the metal sleeve out there. I used a drill right there and just kind of drilled around where the sleeve was, and then I was able to free it up enough to pull it out with some pliers. And then I've just been taking a wire brush hooked up to a drill and going in and out, and it's just kind of eating away at the old bushing, and sometimes a little bit of heat to persuade it a little bit, but it seems to be working pretty fine to getting this out. So that ended up working out pretty well. We got it pretty nice and polished in there. So now we're getting ready to insert the poly sleeve here. I went ahead and installed this using a vise, and now I'm just gonna stick it in here, and I'm actually gonna use the Maxim tool to press it in the way that you're supposed to press in this whole sleeve. And I think that's actually gonna work a lot better than this side where we press the whole thing out. Alrighty, so we got the uppers in on both sides with the poly bushings for the diff mount bushings there. Everything went fairly okay. It's still a little bit difficult to get everything to line up because these newer bushings are a lot tighter than the original ones were, but we got everything in. Next, moving on is the lower ones, but we're getting ready to put everything back together because I got to get to work. All right, so we're back. It's actually been quite some time since we did the upper control arms, but I'm actually working today, and Sean behind here is actually going to do my my lower control arms on the new Edge Mustang. I'm also putting coilovers in at this point in time too, so there's going to be a little overlap of that. But other than that, I mean, Sean's got it, I think. He's actually done them on another car that's on the channel that you haven't seen yet, that you'll see in a few more months.
And he's paying me for my labor with cosmetic parts for that car.
Let's just say it's got a broken rear diff right now.
It does, but
gives you a hint what it is. All right, so Sean here has been on absolute insanity mode and has already ripped the sway bar down and a lot of this stuff on the underside of the car. He's getting ready to start pulling control arms down. Shout out to him for doing things. I've been trying to do things with Turbo Mustang stuff. So he's doing great.
Out for you.
Yeah, but anyways, he's getting it done for me. I'm gonna put it on time lapse and I guess he's gonna do everything. So Sean's actually got the one side pretty much on. The control arm is in. He did, like I said, as the overlap, get a little bit of the coil spring there put on. He's just got to move that into place as it goes down. But he's pretty much got this side in. Now he's going to start on that one and just do that one as well. Alrighty, so we got everything installed, or Sean got everything installed as far as the control arms go on the car, and it's going pretty well. There is a few things I do want to point out about this control arm kit and just what I feel about it. Number one is it is very, you get what you paid for. It's like $100 kit, and so definitely comes with $100 issues. It makes noise, creaks a lot, there's no grease fittings. And it is a little bit difficult to install, not too bad, but a little bit difficult. It definitely tightened up the rear of the car though. It does what you paid for. It tightens it up. It's just not, it's gonna take a lot of drivability, of daily drivability away from the car from what I've seen so far. It definitely makes it shift harder. You can feel it, the rear differential move and everything like that. The rear axle doesn't move. But you can definitely tell that it makes noise, especially when turning slow speeds, tight corners, stuff like that. You can hear the creaking and everything. Coming from the rear of the car, the vibrations are a little bit stiffer. So that's just one thing I would say to look out for. The kit isn't bad, but I would say I would recommend going with something a little bit nicer, something more adjustable than what these are. Just simply for the fact that you buy once, you cry once. This was kind of just because we're trying to build this car so quickly, and I'm realizing that right now with the wrap job, which you'll see in a future video. But that's pretty much going to be it for this video, guys. So thank y'all so much for watching. You have a great rest of y'all's day. Peace out, and I'll see you next time.